Hey folks, it's Jim. I just wanted to go over a video that I think is pretty important. I'm titling this one, Build Your Own Glove. That's what I do. No glove does every job. So I've learned over the years to simply build my own glove for the conditions, job, and whatever else. But anyway, let me open with a disclaimer. This video is not advice or health advice of any kind. You are responsible to seek out the professional advice that is right for you. This video is simply my opinions, and my final disclaimer is do everything I share in my videos at your own risk, and I strongly recommend you seek out professional advice for all the affairs of your life. But anyway, what I've learned over the years is that no glove does every job, so I've learned to build my own gloves. And I start with a base layer, such as this, merino wool liners. I purchased mine in a 12-pack. My last 12-pack lasted me 8 years. These are by Refrigiwear. I'm not saying to go out and buy Refrigiwear, but they're what I like. One of the reasons why is their cuffs are very durable, and they fit tight and right, and the glove just lasts. And that's what I like about Refrigiwear. Now, that being said, make the decisions that are right for you. I also use Refrigiwear, as you know. I have a leather palm set, and then I also have the regular without the leather palm. And these are pretty old, and they have a hole in them. I'll get into that later. I put one hole in it, but that's easy to sew up. That's one good thing about wool, easy to fix. And that could have been prevented had I been wearing the right glove for the job, but I was in a hurry, and there you go. Wound up with a hole in my glove. But the other thing I like about building my own glove and starting with a base layer such as a merino wool liner is that when I use a glove such as these that are waterproof, the problem with waterproof is it's waterproof on the outside. That means moisture is not getting out either. And I'm going to trap moisture in there, especially if I'm working with it. So if I put on a glove liner and then I put on my cheapy waterproof glove and I go out and I do my roof raking or whatever, shoveling, whatever I'm doing, and then I come back in or I'm getting by the fire, I can simply pull the part that was contacting my skin and gathered most of the moisture out of the glove and dry it much quicker because this is a very thin little glove, isn't it? So that's another reason why I believe in building my own glove. The right glove for the right conditions, but not only that, I can get the moisture wicking part of the glove that absorb most of the moisture out of the glove and dry it much faster. Water, moisture, H2O is one of the best thermal conductors known to man. And it conducts heat and cold very quickly, doesn't it? So if we're building moisture up in our gloves, it'd be best to get it out, wouldn't it? So that we can dry it and vent it off. And if I have a few pairs of these liners, I can keep changing them out, can't I? While one pair is drying, I can be working with another pair and keep switching back and forth, not have to change the glove all day long, just changing my liners. So anyway, that's just a thought for you. I shared on another video, a biking video, one of my favorite setups for working in the winters and snow and or just around when it's cold is a nice rag wool, in this case Refrigiwear base, and this also has a fleece liner. And then I toss it in my old chopper mitt, and voila, I've got a great working package now to go deal with different tasks that might damage the wool glove and whatnot, and also give me more wind resistance and better thermal control as well. Okay, so, and what I might do is switch that up to a lighter glove depending on the day, right? And so we can, you know, because these are much thicker than these, aren't they? So different setups for different jobs, right? Or we can go with thick, or we can take a pair of these with these and the chopper mitt. Now I got 3 layers, don't I? And see, in a survival situation, I can be drying out one layer while I'm still wearing the other 2, okay? And the reason why I like leather and wool is because they are both somewhat can withstand working around a fire. And that's part of the reason. I use common sense, and again, disclaimer, do everything I share in my videos at your own risk. But one of my favorite old gloves is my old military watch gloves. And these need to be oiled again, but these are quite old, folks. And they are still going, okay? Take care of your gloves, they'll take care of you. But now I've taken a old military watch glove that's super thick leather and really good to work with. And now I'm adding some thermal protection to it. And I can go with a light thermal layer underneath, or I can go to a heavier thermal layer underneath, or I can go way up, right? So I can build my own glove to the specific task and need that I have, okay? And still maintaining some dexterity and whatnot. Whereas this glove alone, this old military watch glove alone, is pretty much useless in the cold, isn't it? Give you a little protection, but boy, it's going to conduct that cold. Add that thermal wool layer, and moisture wicking, and I've got a really nice setup, don't I? So that's part of the reason why I say build your own glove. And again, do everything at your own risk. You know, I have some decent work gloves as well, you know, with special palms and all that, but their thermal properties aren't that great. All I have to do, again, to boost that up a little bit, add a nice merino wool liner, and now this glove's not so bad, okay? So I personally, if I'm in a survival situation, and this is for preppers, I like leather and wool. That's it. Because I'm going to be working around fires. Synthetic fabrics, generally, unless they're rated fire retardant or resistant, are not that durable when I have to work around a fire, such as cooking and other things, right? And maintaining a fire. Whereas leather and wool might give me a little bit of resiliency around a fire. Now use common sense again. These are not fireproof or fire retardant, but I like things that I can dry out near a fire without having any real problem doing that or working around a fire. And that's why I like leather and wool. Now you do what you want, but you also see I like my synthetics too for specific jobs, right? And you never know what job you're going to need. Are you going to need leather? Are you going to need super reinforced palms? I mean, what are you going to do? Or what is your exact need for the day or whatever? But again, remember, using a liner helps us, and building our own glove helps us to pull that moisture out of the glove immediately, thereby accelerating our drying time, while at the same time still being able to have some protection on my hand while my base layer is drying that absorb most of the moisture, right? So that's one of the advantages to building your own glove for sure, okay? And what I also like about it is the lower cost. As you can see, I have all these gloves here, you know, and some people pay $100 to $150 for gloves, which they may need. If you're a union worker, you definitely need it, or a steel worker or whatever. You've got to do that, but you also get a $1,000 clothing allowance generally. Whereas as the average homeowner, if you've got several different tasks to do, you're not getting a $1,000 clothing allowance. But we can sure build a glove to meet our need, right? Whatever that need may be, right? Or, right? We can build whatever glove we need for whatever task we need and not have to spend a lot of money, you know, per glove. And generally, the outer shell is what's going to wear out. Okay, when I talk about using leather and wool, that's usually what's going to go. Is this glove going to cost me much to replace? No. I can get these at the Army surplus store or Navy or whatever for nothing, really. And you can find these online. Well, I don't know if they make this quality anymore, but that's why I keep these old babies. But you can find a decent outer leather shell for not a lot of money, and especially this time of year when we're coming out of winter. Look for all this stuff on sale. I got these for less than, I think, $4 a pair, maybe $3 a pair. 12 pair, 24 liners for not a lot of money. And my last set of these lasted 8 years, okay, my last 12 pack. So I believe in building my own gloves so that I can build to whatever situation I'm going to encounter, rather than trying to get one glove that's going to be able to handle all situations, which generally is impossible. There is no glove that can do everything out there. Now, if you're climbing Mount Everest or whatever, and you say, Jim, these are these great $200 gloves, well, that's great. But I hope you're climbing Mount Everest if you're spending $200 on a pair of gloves, or you're a union worker with $1,000 clothing allowance to buy those specialty gloves, okay? The rest of us are trying to conserve a little bit of money, but yet meet all of our needs, okay? So think about that. I just wanted to share this video. I find building my own gloves, this has been my experience living in the North for some time, is to build my own glove for the specific need I have. Some days I may want to use a mitt, right? I may be able to get away with using a mitt, but some days I'm going to need dexterity, okay? So I need a glove. And again, nothing does every job. It's just not out there. If you want slash resistant, you're probably not going to get flame retardant. If you want flame retardant, you're probably not going to get slash resistant. A steel worker's glove is different from a welder's glove. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, I should say, or an electrician's glove or whatever. There are so many different needs that for me, I find building my glove to the situation is most important. And when it comes to survival, again, all I want is leather and wool going with me. No synthetic fabrics. That's just me personally, from my experience. You know, those synthetic gloves get damaged or whatnot, and then boom, it's all over. And leather and wool I can repair in the field quite simply, and generally will be very durable if I've taken care of them. And so that's what I find. And when the outer shell wears out, I can replace these for about $10 and oil them and prep them for my next year. And I've still got my mid layer, or my base layer is still there. So I've got a really nice, high quality setup for not a lot of money that's very versatile and can be replaced at lower cost. So, and especially with these cheap gloves, as you know, you wear a pair of these out in no time, won't you? If you're working a lot in them, but it gives you good dexterity, and they are somewhat waterproof, but they're really not, going to help your hands stay too warm. So adding some extra thermal protection is going to turn these into a much higher priced glove, aren't they? And at the same time, I'm going to get the moisture out so they dry much quicker. So this is what I wanted to share on this video. Are you trying to continually buy high-priced, expensive gloves that have great claims, rather than building your glove to the specific task at hand and the time of year you're going to be using them? And that's the beauty of having versatility. I can build the glove up or down in thermal retention depending on what the job is. Okay, so I just wanted to share this, and especially if you're a prepper, again, I prefer wool and leather only for my preparedness gloves. And there's many reasons for that. I've shared a little bit here. We can maybe do another video on that if you want. But I just wanted to get the point across today to share this. I meant to do this back when Texas had the big problem, but my computer crashed. So I lost all my information, all my videos, everything was in there. And now I've been up for a long time. I bought a computer right away, but I just didn't feel like doing videos. So I'm doing it now. And the reason why I'm doing this is right now, most of this stuff is on sale right now. So you can start building your own glove that I personally believe is better in the long run and more suited for you and the tasks at your hand, rather than going out and spending $100 and $150 for something that's attached all together and you got to throw away in the end as a unit. Whereas I get to keep most of the components of my glove and just change whatever wore out. Okay, so that's this video. I just wanted to share with you. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, I'm going to do a video on how to dry gloves a little bit quicker, the way I do it. Anyway, hope life is good. Jim out.